Stadium. It's the Padres and the Dodgers. It came 4-4 in this series. And you know what? Switch our Lexus pursuing perfection, Steve. We've been talking about pitching for a while, rightly so, but finally we can talk about some hitting.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not always just blistering line drives that get it done for you. That's just a duck snort that drops in there that's going to score 2 runs. Ronnie Bellier came up. Look at him. He's mad. That's a pop-up. No, it isn't Ronnie. It's off the left field wall. That'll help you, too. And we've been talking so much about how tough the schedule is for the Dodgers. Andre Ethier there finished off the game with a big home run into the right field seats that can hurt someone. You don't want to step, in front of a ball like that. But, hey, they've had some bad breaks early on coming out of the All-Star break. It's starting to turn. The worm is starting to turn for them.
So you're saying they're going to catch some breaks. They got the single from Podsednik that fell in. But now you look at the Nationals coming in. You can beat up on them. And then when you take on Philly, you don't have to face, Halladay and some of the top guys are hurt.
Right. You're going to face Oswalt, but, hey, let's face it. You're going to have to face somebody. Go in there for a number of games, 3 games. Victorino's out of that lineup. Howard's out of that lineup. Utley's out of that lineup. It's not the same Phillies that this team's faced over the last couple seasons in the playoffs.
All right, well, it's up to Chad Billingsley to continue to dominate the San Diego Padres. Has not allowed an earned run in 3 starts, trying to keep it going tonight against Correa and the Padres. Stay tuned. First pitch is coming up. Vince Scully has the call, and we'll see you after the game.
The all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealers today. By Shakey's. What did pitcher Doc Ellis wear in his hair on the field? Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit att.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Thursday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers finishing up a big 4-game series with San Diego. The Dodgers having snapped a 6-game losing streak during this series. And for the Dodgers, they've had 2 prior 6-game losing streaks, and they bounced back to win 5 out of 7 and 5 out of 6. So after they snapped, they are now trying to make it 3 in a row against the Padres. The only time the Padres lost a 3 games would be this year against the Dodgers at Petco Park. Today, the Giants lost The Braves beat the Giants 3-2. So for the moment, the Giants trail by a game and a half. The Dodgers remain at 7. The Rockies got hurt today. The Pirates beat the Rockies 5-1. Former Dodger pitcher James McDonald pitched 6 shutout innings, struck out 8, and went on to beat the Rockies in Pittsburgh 5-1. So the Dodgers and the Padres in a very big series, especially for the Dodgers, of course. Gary Hairston leads off at second base. David Eckstein is still not ready to play. Miguel Tejada at short, Adrian Gonzalez at first, and Ryan Ludwig in right field. The switch hitter, Chase Headley, is at third base. Yor Torrealba behind the plate. Will Venable in left field. Tony Gwynn will start in center tonight, and Kevin Correa on the mound. There are 2 streaks tonight on the line. First of all, the Padres have drawn blanks in the last 17 innings. Remember, they scored in the very first inning in the game started by Ted Lilly with the home run, and then they were shut down for 8 innings. Last night, Vicente Padilla shut him down for 9, so that's 17. The other scoreless streak is held by Chad Billingsley, 21 2/3 scoreless innings. So let's see if the scoreless innings are extended for both sides of the coin, and Jerry Hairston checks in to start it off. Billingsley's first pitch is down and away, ball 1, 1-0. Jerry hitting .245, he has 7 home runs, 42 runs batted in, but the Dodgers have really shut him down. He's 1 for 13 in the series. Billingsley's next pitch is whacked to left. Posednik on the dead run is going to have to play it off the wall. And into second base goes Hairston with his second hit of the series. So from 1 to 13, he promptly doubles, and the Padres have a man in scoring position. Fastball right out over the plate, and Hairston jumped on it. So Jerry, the long double over the head of Scott Posednik. All Scotty could do is take the bounce off the window of the Dodger bullpen and get it back in. So now the batter is Miguel Tejada, batting .174, trying to pick up Hairston. Tejada with a home run, he hit it here. 3 runs batted in, and bunts up along third, foul ball, and he'll come back and try it again. For Miguel Tejada, he does not have a bunt. Not with the Padres, not in the American League. We'd have to look that up to see the last time he bunted for a base hit, but he made a good effort at it. So Tejada, who of course once upon a time was quite a power hitter, twice in his big league career he hit as many as 34 home runs in a season. Strike 1 pitch of the right-hand bidder is away, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. In looking at Billingsley, Jerry Hairston was 1 for 5 against him, and he doubles. Tejada is 3 for 10 with a home run against him. So Billingsley out of a stretch. Carroll directly behind the runner Hairston, and the pitch to Tejada is low, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Among other things with Chad Billingsley, the 26-year-old is 9-5. Remember last time out he volunteered and on 3 days rest tossed 6 2/3 scoreless in a game the Dodgers lost 2-1 in San Francisco. In his career, 10-4 against San Diego. More wins against San Diego than any other team, as Tejada line drive at Loney down to Carroll, double play. A line drive by Miguel Tejada, speared by James Loney, who just fired down to shortstop Jamie Carroll, who got to the bag just ahead of the sliding Hairston, and quickly 2 down, and the batter will be Adrian Gonzalez. So a huge play for the Dodgers, a 3-6 line drive double play. So Hairston is hung out to dry, Tejada losing a base hit, and now the batter is Adrian Gonzalez. So 2 down first inning. Billingsley into the windup and delivers, wrinkles one in, little curveball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Gonzalez has 10 hits against Billingsley. batting average of .250. Dodgers have that triangle defense on the right side as Gonzalez swings and doesn't get it. 0-2. Dodgers trying to win 3 out of 4 and trying to shut down some of the Padre hitters. And Adrian Gonzalez is target number 1. He is 1 for 11 in the series. Strike 2 pitch from Billingsley is swung on and missed a high fastball way out of the strike zone. No runs, 1 hit, no score. So 18 scoreless innings for the Padres, 22 2/3 for Billingsley, no score. Billingsley very lucky. That line drive could easily have scored a run. Instead, it's a double play. And we take a look at the Dodger lineup. Posetnik, Terrio, and Ether. Then Loney, Kemp, and Blake. Carroll, Ellis, and Billingsley. And on the mound, Kevin Correa, ready to go, the right-hander for the San Diego Padres. Kevin Correa, a San Diego boy, born and still lives there, went to Cal Poly, originally drafted by the Giants 8 years ago. And the first pitch, in for a strike, and the count 0-1. One of the things about Correa, he is a fly ball pitcher. So he might do well at Petco, but it's a danger as far as giving up home runs. The pitch to Posetnik is off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. And when you say he's a fly ball pitcher, the stats tell you that, and you look it up, and he's given up 17 home runs, tops on the Padres staff. The next pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2 the count to Scott Posetnik. Scott, left-hand hitter, runs like the wind, covers a lot of ground. Into the windup is Correa. Kevin comes back in the dirt, blocked nicely by Torrealba. 2-2 the count. When Kevin Correa was at Grossmont Junior College, he didn't even play baseball. That was back in 1999. Then when he transferred to Cal Poly, that's when he became a top pitcher 2 years later. Posetnik, ground ball to short. Tejada gets rid of it in a hurry, and just like that, we have one away. And the batter will be Ryan Terrio. For Correa, in his younger days, he was one of those 20-something kind of kids. They'd say one time he'd show up with a haircut of spiked, next day buzz cut, but he has settled down and has become a mature 30-year-old who's been in the big leagues on and off since 2003. Ryan Terrio hitting .277, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Terrio, a fine asset. Dodgers are delighted to have him. They wish Blake DeWitt a great deal of success, and DeWitt has had it in the early days with the Cubs. Strike 1 pitch is lined into right center field for a base hit. Tony Gwynn is up with it, gets it back in. So Terrio, who is not a pull hitter, anything but, he had a double to right center last night. He has something like 54 of his hits now have gone the other way towards right center field. So the one-out single by Ryan Terrio will bring up Andre Ethier. Ethier, who had a big night last night. Andre has his average at 296. He had 2 doubles and a home run last evening. So the Dodgers with Terrio at first, 1 out, and Ethier at the plate. Throw to first, and Terrio back in on his hands and knees. Andre Ethier has really hurt Kevin Correa. He's hitting .533 against him. That would be 8 hits and 15 at-bats, although no home runs. James Loney, who's hitting back of him, has 2 home runs against Kevin Correa. The pitch outside, ball 1, 1-0 to Andre. Trying to get his form back. Remember, he was absolutely dynamite until he hurt his finger. Things have not been quite the same ever since the All-Star break. But he's been on the rise, and certainly a big night last evening. The 1-0 pitch is swung on. Ground ball to the right side. The feed for 1. And the double play throw to first. So a 4-6-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. And at the end of an inning, no score. Put on disabled list yesterday with the torn labrum of the hip. First time on the DL in 5 years in the major leagues, and the workhorse is suddenly shut down. Life is certainly not fair. As Ryan Ludwig checks in, swings, lifts one off first down the line, peeling off foul and back into the stands, out of play. What is the future? Well, the same for Rafael Furcal, although the Dodgers are pretty optimistic about him. Joe Torre says that Rafael feels much better today, and they hope to have him back on Tuesday when they open up the road trip in Philadelphia. Martin, that's another story. The strike 1 pitch is in there. Joe Torre said before the ballgame about Martin the fact that 2 catchers who perhaps can handle the pitching, but Joe did have one sentence that really jumps out at you. It looks like he'll be out the rest of the year. The pitch to Ludwig is inside. 1-2 the count. Ryan Ludwig, a big bat, moving over from St. Louis to San Diego. However, the Dodgers have kept him under control. He's 3 for 11. And Billingsley delivers in a drive to center, but Matt Kemp on the dead run reaches up and spears it. So Ludwig hits it right on the screws, and Matt Kemp runs it down. Nice play. One away. You know one thing, and you'd have to be Bud Black or a real expert at this game to figure it out, if indeed the Padres may be pressing a little bit. And here's why. If you go back to the 5th inning last night, the pitchers made, the Padres have gone down on innings of 9 pitches, 5, 10, 8, 9, and 9 in the 1st inning tonight. In other words, Bud Black has seen his hitters go out on 50 pitches over 6 innings. And sure enough, here's Headley swinging at the first pitch and fouling it away. So 0-1 the count of the switch hitter, a very good left-handed batter. Swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-2. For Headley, from this side of the plate, hitting .317. The other side of the plate, he is a right-handed swinger, batting .190. The strike 2 pitch on the way. A ground ball. Loney leaves the bag. He has to scurry back, and Terrio gets it to him in time. The toughest play, they say, if you're a first baseman, when to go to the bag and when to go after the ball. And for a split second, Loney was caught in between. So the ground ball hit to the hole. Loney started, then ran back. Terrio had to be very patient and got it to him. Headley does not run that well anyway. So 2 down here in the 2nd inning on a minimum number of pitches. And let's see what Yorvit Torrealba does. Torrealba was unlucky last night. He had a 15-game hitting streak, and he lost a hit on a great play by Terrio, and he also lined out. And he takes ball 1. So the 15-game hitting streak is gone by the boards, but Torrealba is still doing well, hitting .326. Billingsley turns on the rubber, and the right-hander comes back 1-0. Slider way off the plate, ball 2. Torrealba hitting .353 against Billingsley, including a home run. So there's a handle with care label on him. He is 3 for 8 in the series. 2 balls and no strikes. Billingsley ready. Chad over the top, and it is swung on, fouled, and the count 2-1. A.J. Ellis handling the pitches behind the plate. Brad Ausmus last night. Dodger outfield deep and fanned out exactly straight away. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Torrealba. Swung on and missed. 2-2. So Yorvit backs away for the moment. One of the great things about Torrealba, too, he has been hitting .449 with runners in scoring position. So he's been a big man. He has 26 RBIs, 2 home runs, and that .326 batting average. No score, 2nd inning. Billingsley ready. Here he comes 2-2, and it's in the dirt. He overthrew, and it goes all the way to the backstop. So 3-2 the count. Trying to muscle up on a slider, and he throws it to the screen. Chad was lucky in the 1st inning. Hairston a long double to left. Tejada hit a bullet, speared by Loney, who threw to Carroll to double up Hairston. And then Gonzalez struck out. 3-2 pitch is a little roller to shortstop. Carroll has time with Torrealba and throws him out. So add them up. That means 19 scoreless innings for the Padres. 23 2/3 for Billingsley. No score. on the driver's side. Bottom of the second inning, no score in the ball game. A beautiful evening, 70 degrees. The lights have certainly not taken effect. Not a cloud to mar that blue canopy. And we can see the mountains off in the distance. Quite a sight as James Loney checks in. And the first pitch to James, missing for ball one. Loney with 2 home runs, hitting .263 against Kevin Correa. James batting .291, and the pitch to him is whacked into left center. Tony Gwynn flying over to make the catch. So Loney hits it hard for an out, 1 away, and Matt Kemp coming up. Say, be sure to join the Dodgers tomorrow with the Nationals on 80s night. First 20,000 fans take home a limited edition 80s themed poster featuring Matt Kemp. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. So Matt Kemp coming up. We'll check and see what he's done in the past against Kevin Correa. Hitting just .190 with 4 hits. Overall batting .264, 18 home runs, 60 runs batted in. Looks at a pitch in for a strike. Slider in the count 0-1. For Kevin Correa, you'll get a 2-seam fastball with a lot of sink to it, slider, and a good change. The strike one pitch is swung on, and a towering drive to left field. Back on the track, right by the bullpen gate, is Venable to make the catch. So Matt Kemp just missed hitting it out. Again, we repeat, Kevin Correa is definitely a fly ball pitcher. So we got 2 fly balls here in the second inning. And the batter is Casey Blake. Casey hitting .249. He has 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. He is 3 for 15, batting just .200 against Correa, and takes a strike. 0-1. Kevin looks down, getting a sign from Torrealba. Now the strike one pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. If you match up the plate appearances with Kevin Correa, you find that he's fighting his control. 50 walks, 86 strikeouts, and the 1-1 pitch in there. 1-2. No score in the second inning. Padres have to be getting a little fidgety. They've now gone 19 scoreless innings against the Dodgers. The 1-2 pitch on the way, and Blake looks just missed. 2-2. The Dodger pitching has been not just remarkable, Vicente Padilla turning that 2-hitter last night, but the last 18 starters, their earned run average is 1.8. And of course, Ted Lilly pitched another gem. 2-2 pitch fouled away. The last 12 games, the Dodgers starters have an earned run average of 1.6. So the pitching has been absolutely brilliant. But as they say on Broadway, yeah, how'd you come out? And that's the bottom line. 2-2 the count. And the pitch to Casey Blake is taken off the plate. Ball 3. 3-2 the count. Kevin Correa ready to go to work on a 3-2 pitch. Casey swings. It's a fly ball to right. Going back on it is Ludwig on the track to make the catch. I should say Kevin Correa is a fly ball pitcher. 1 to the bullpen gate and 1 to the scoreboard and right, but they're all outs. And at the end of 2, no score. string of scoreless innings. Since 1988, Chan Ho Park had 33, Wilson Alvarez 25, Tim Belcher 24. And the first pitch to Will Venable, the left-hand hitter takes a strike. But, of course, around these parts, if you're talking about scoreless innings, well, you know, you start with Don Drysdale and finish up with Oral Hershiser. Strike one pitch to Venable. Swung on, hard ground ball, smothered by Carroll. Gets up, and his off-balance throw pulls Loney way off the bag. Another great effort. Actually, Carroll should not have had a play at all, but the ball hit the mound. That took a little of the bite out of it, and it allowed him to glove it. But then when he scrambled up, he threw low and off the bag, and that'll certainly be a base hit for Will Venable. So Venable aboard, and the batter will be Tony Gwynn. Second hit allowed by Chad Billingsley. So Jamie, an all-out effort as he plays shortstop certainly every day until at least Tuesday in Philadelphia. There goes Venable. The pitch is a strike. The throw down, and he's in there. Will Venable, who runs so well, has stolen 19 out of 22, and I mean he had a good jump. Ellis made a great throw, but Venable was already there with a head-first dive and the tag by Jamie Carroll a wee bit late. So a runner at second, nobody out. Tony Gwynn hitting .215, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Tony Gwynn, 6 for 18, .333 batting average against Chad Billingsley. And the pitch to Tony, in for a strike. 1-1 the count. Gwynn also has a home run against Billingsley in the past. You know, when Chad has beaten the Padres twice this year, the scores 1-0 and 2-0. Chad will look back at Venable. Now the pitch of the plate, and Gwynn takes low. 2-1 the count. Casey Blake wide, but even with the bag at third. The right side of the Dodger infield is back. Venable a pretty good lead. Carroll behind him to take a step away. Fly ball to left field, coming over is Posednik. So that's a rough at bat with the pitcher coming up. But the best Gwynn can do is a fly ball the other way, failing to advance his runner. So that's a frustrating moment for Bud Black on a team that hasn't been able to score. So one down, and the batter will be Kevin Correa. Correa with the bat has 4 hits. He has 3 runs batted in. Strikes out a little less than a third of the time. Billingsley goes back of the mound for the moment, now back up on top. So a runner at second, 1 out, top of the third, no score. Billingsley out of a stretch. Chad delivers, fastball strike, 0-1 the count. For the Padres, they have been hitting .278 with runners in scoring position. The strike one pitch on the way to Correa. That's another fastball swung on and missed. Interesting in this series, talking about hitting with runners in scoring position. The Padres 4 for 15, and they were 4 for 11 opening night. The Dodgers 12 for 38. So it's a difference, a .267 batting average for the Padres and a .316 batting average for the Dodgers. 1-2 the count to Correa. Billingsley trying to put him away. On deck, Jerry Hairston, who doubled over the head of Posednik in the very first inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Billingsley ready. Here he comes. Breaking ball hit off his glove, deflected to Carroll, who throws and gets him. So after a couple of good fastballs, Billingsley decided to curve Correa and was almost burned. He did get his glove on it, and then Jamie Carroll made a wonderful recovery. So the play goes 1-6-3 as Billingsley deflected it, and Carroll made the play. Meanwhile, Venable was tied. He couldn't leave second base. So with 2 out and a runner at second, the batter is Jerry Hairston, who doubled, short hopping the left field wall right by the Dodger bullpen window, and was picked off on that line drive to Loney. Jerry representing 5 different Hairstons down through the years in the major leagues. He's the leader, 911 hits. A fake throw after Terrio had rushed to the bag, just trying to take a step away from Will Venable. Billingsley looks in, getting a sign. Now straightens up. Another check of Venable. He has a good lead. And the pitch to Hairston in for a strike. Jerry doubled in the first inning, so he is 2 for 14 in the series. Do the Padres have a runner steal third? Yes. Chase Headley has done it twice. Jerry Hairston has done it twice. Tony Gwynn has done it twice. Venable has not done it. Well, with a right-hand hitter up, Casey Blake back, and the fact that Venable can take a big lead, it's always up there, hanging over the head and thoughts of Chad Billingsley. Chad concentrating, and now Ellis has gone out to talk to him, so timeout. No score, top of the third, 2 out. Venable, who singled at second base. Jerry doubled in the first inning. He was 0 for 4 last night with 3 fly balls. 1 for 4 the game before, popped it up a couple of times, and went 0 for 5 in the first game of the series. All right, Ellis back in a crouch. Billingsley ready. The strike one pitch fouled away, and the count 0-2. Chad Billingsley has 1 strikeout tonight, and in looking at his numbers, 42 walks and 102 strikeouts. So better than 2-1. Hairston back up, taking his lead at second is Will Venable. 2 out, no score in the third. Outfield, if anything, shaded a bit to right, and the pitch to Jerry is fouled away out of play. Ethier is up a couple of steps in right. Matt Kemp shading him just a hair towards right center, and Posednik straight away. 0-2 the count to Jerry Hairston, making Billingsley work a bit hard now with a runner at second and 2 out. Dodgers have 6 more games left with the Padres and 6 more left with the Giants. Strike 2 pitch in the dirt. Nice save by Ellis, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Dodgers after tonight 30 games left in the Western Division, and as you know, they've done very well in the West. Tonight they started the game 27-14. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Billingsley hiding the ball back of his right hip. Hairston waiting, and now Chad ready. The 1-2 pitch, fastball inside corner. Strike 3 call. Hairston can't believe Brian Gorman rings him up, but he's done. So they leave Venable, and that's 3 more to make it 20 scoreless innings. No score. Third inning, and what are we doing at Dodger Stadium? We're counting string. That is to say, a string of 20 scoreless innings for the frustrated San Diego Padres, and a string of 24 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings for Chad Billingsley. In the third, Jamie Carroll, A.J. Ellis, and then Chad. And the first pitch off the plate, ball one. Jamie hitting .280. Already scrambling, making a fine play, making another great effort. So the right-hand hitter on a 1-0 count takes a strike, and the count 1-1. Jamie Carroll against Kevin Correa is hitting .500. 5 hits in 10 at-bats. Hits a little dribbler by the mound, charging Tejada, guns it to first in time for the out. Nice play by Miguel. One away in the third. A reminder, be sure to bring your kids to Dodger Stadium, and with the purchase of every adult ticket on the field or Lowe's level, kids 14 and under, just $5. For details, visit Dodgers.com/special. Boy, that's great. First of all, to be that young, 14 and under, sit in the best seat in the house for $5. Wow. Here's A.J. Ellis hitting .204, recently called up when Russell Martin went down. The old story, one player's misfortune is the other's good fortune. Give you an idea of what Russell Martin meant to the Dodgers as Ellis takes in the dirt. Since arriving with the Dodgers, Russell Martin had started 617 out of a possible 727 games. We'll do the math for you. That's 85%. So you can imagine how frustrated and down he must feel. Ellis, meanwhile, fly ball to right center. Ludwig is there and makes the catch, and we have 2 out in the third inning. Yeah, as we mentioned before, and you'll be teaching your children it, I'm sure, life is not fair. Martin would certainly attest to that. So here's Chad Billingsley. 2 out, third inning, no score. Kevin Correa facing his opposite number. And the first pitch to Chad, big swing and a miss. Went after a fastball, tried to uppercut it a little bit. Billingsley has 6 hits, including a double. He has 1 run batted in. Back with a fastball fouled away outside of first, and the count 0-2. No runs, 2 hits for the Padres. A leadoff double by Jerry Hairston. He was doubled up on a line drive by Tejada that was speared by James Loney, and Venable a single to shortstop. The next pitch pulled foul the other way on a curveball. 0-2 the count. Amazing how the time flies. Remember Chad Billingsley making his debut against the San Diego Padres in San Diego. His fiancee, soon to become his wife, a lot of drama. And among other things, I can still see on that bright sunshiny day, Billingsley getting a base hit to right field. We were also very happy for him. Can you believe that's 121 starts ago? The 1-2 fastball pulled to short. Tejada waits for the hop, throws to first, and another smoke ring goes up on the scoreboard. Dodgers go down in order, and at the end of 3, no score. chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. We have reached the fourth inning. No score in the ball game. The Padres no runs, 2 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. Chad Billingsley has a string now of 24 2/3 scoreless innings. And Miguel Tejada, who hit a bullet speared by Loney, who turned it into a double play in the first inning. Miguel will start it off. The MVP in the American League back in 2002. And ball 1, 1-0. Players say that they love to be around Tejada, especially when he's upset, when he gets a little angry. He begins to talk to himself, and he has his teammates really doubled up in laughter. The 1-0 pitch. Lined into right center. Kemp is coming to play it on a bounce. So Tejada, a single to center. And before Gonzalez, time for you to put your thinking cap on. Our trivia question. Which ex-Dodgers general manager was the first general manager in Padres history? Well, we tell you in a little while. Adrian Gonzalez struck out in the first inning. Now, even though there's a man on first base, the Dodgers are still putting that triangle defense out. Casey Blake is one of 2 second basemen, I guess. And Jamie Carroll is all alone between second and third. So you have Blake, Terrio, and Loney on one side, and Carroll holding the ground. Of course, one thing about Gonzalez, he can go the other way. Absolutely. His base hit in the first inning against Ted Lilly was to left field. And a one-hopper. Up with it is Carroll. Down to Casey, who's never made a turn. And it throws too late. I mean, you can fool some of the people some of the time. For Casey Blake, a third baseman, suddenly trying to turn a double play, that's asking a lot, especially against a left-hand hitter. So really, I guess you would score it 6-5 with parenthesis around the 5 *4, because the third baseman's playing second base. And then the somewhat awkward throw. Nice try, Case. 1 out. And the batter now, Ryan Ludwig. Ball 1. Ludwig hit one hard leading off the second inning, and Matt Kemp ran it down. Two and 0 the count. For the Padres, they've had a man on in 3 of the 4 innings, and the 1 inning where they didn't get a man on, Ludwig lost himself an extra base hit on that running catch by Kemp. Two and 0. And 3-0. So Billingsley in some trouble now. Ludwig has power. He hit 37 home runs for the Cardinals 2 years ago. So the thought is it's not automatic that he's going to take 3-0. He takes his strike. We mentioned it the other night. Ludwig fractured his left hip. There's a titanium rod in that hip, a 6-inch rod, and there might be some consolation and inspiration for Russell Martin. Ground ball, foul. They play different positions totally. Ludwig, a straight up player in the outfield, and of course Russell Martin as a catcher in a crouch most of the time. When Ludwig fractured his hip, he was getting married and could barely walk down the aisle to meet his bride. 3-2 the count. Fastball, ball forward. So a base hit and a walk with one out here in the fourth inning. Dodgers unable to turn the double play with the triangle defense. And the batter will be Chase Headley. Headley grounded out in the second inning. Chase 0 for 1, hitting .277. Chase out of Fountain, Colorado. He was a high school valedictorian and an academic All-American in high school. Ball one. Went to the University of Tennessee and still lives in Knoxville. Two on, Gonzalez and Ludwig. One out, no score, fourth inning. That's a strike. 1-1. Headley 6'2", 210. We saw Matt Kemp have a 5-hit game, and Headley knows all about that. He had a career 5-hit game last September at Pittsburgh. He had a 4-hit game the other night against the Dodgers. 1-1. Shot up the middle by the diving Terrio, and here comes a run brought in by Gonzalez. The throw to third gets away, and the runners will hold at second and third. So the bubble has burst on each side. The Dodgers' inability to turn the double play because they had Casey Blake playing as a second baseman. That was the big play. And now the walk and the base hit by Headley, and the run scores. So it was 24 scoreless innings for Chad Billingsley, and it was 20 1/3 scoreless innings for the Padres. So the base hit by Headley brings in a run. No error on the play, just single RBI. Taking second on the throw is Headley. And the pitch in the dirt to Torrealba. Ball one. One nothing Padres. 1 run, 4 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. Torrealba, as we mentioned, he's been dynamite with runners in scoring position, hitting .449. He takes in the dirt again. First base open, and the left-hand hitting Will Venable on deck. 2-0 to Torrealba, hitting .325. Dodger infield in double play depth. The outfield fanned out straight away. You have Ludwig down the line from third, Headley away from second, and Adrian Gonzalez in the dugout with the run. Now the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. So Billingsley fighting it. Walk Ludwig. Now behind 3-0 to Torrealba. Venable on deck is hitting in the 230s. So Torrealba swings, sure enough, and singles in one. Hoffman will stop his man Headley at third, so you could see that coming. Not that it's a knock on Venable so much, but you got a guy who's really productive at the plate, and a 3-0 count. Dodgers were not going to walk him intentionally. By gosh, Torrealba comes up with another big base hit and a run batted in. So the Dodgers challenge him, and they lose by running the count to 3-0, and Rick Honeycutt has gone out to do a little chatting. So in the inning, you've had 3 singles and a walk, 2 runs, and the Padres lead 2-0. Jorge Torrealba wanted to make sure that time was out. He was going to steal second base, but first base coach Rick Renteria said no, time was called. Jorvik goes down to talk to the first base umpire, Paul Newitt, and Paul's getting a kick out of him. Hey, he was thinking. All right, Honeycutt has had his chat. The Dodger infielders go back. Now runners at first and third, and Will Venable coming up. One reason the Dodgers, I guess, didn't walk Jorvik Torrealba is the fact that Venable has only grounded into one double play. So it is 2-0 Padres, fourth inning. First and third, one out. Ball one. And Billingsley fighting his control. And by the way, with a runner at third, it should be duly noted, Chad has 3 wild pitches. Torrealba barely a lead at all at first. And another one way off the plate. It's not like he's just missing. 2-0 the count. On deck, Tony Gwynn. That's a strike. Billingsley during the year has good control. He's never walked more than 4 in a game, mostly 2. His high in strikeouts, he had 11. Highest pitch count was against the Giants, 125. 2-2 the count. One of Billingsley's problems, and it is so important, the ability or inability of the pitcher to get the first pitch over for a strike. Rule is get the first pitch for a strike, get the leadoff hitter, but he's been unable to do it. 6 batters, 1 first pitch strike, and the leadoff man Tejada got on. 2-2. Ball 3. Three and 2. Torrealba and Headley at the corners. 1 out. Torrealba is not going. Torrealba does have 5 stolen bases, but he's been caught 3 times. Probably busted hit and run plays more than anything else. 3-2. Torrealba's not going, and it is ball 4 to load him up for Tony Gwynn. So an anxious time for the Dodgers as Gwynn, the 7th man to come up in the inning. Tony flied to left field in the 3rd inning. So the bases loaded, 1 out. Gwynn, a left-hand batter who runs well. He has grounded into only 2 double plays. Day in and day out, the Padres have been fortunate in avoiding the double play. And a fly ball to right field. Tagging up is Headley. The catch by Ethier. Headley will score. And that makes it 3-0 San Diego. And that's the 2nd out. So Gwynn, fly ball to right. And the Padres jump out in front. So in the inning, Gonzalez, Ludwig, and Headley have all scored. And with 2 out, the batter will be Kevin Correa, feeling much happier about things. He almost had a base hit in the 3rd inning. Big high chopper went off the glove of Billingsley. Carroll made a good play to throw him out. Strike. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 4th, Posednik, Terrio, and Ethier. Another strike. For Correa, 3-0 lead is nice, but he knows as well as you do that his earned run average is over 5. 0-2. Puts him away with a fastball. However, 8 men came to the plate. Billingsley had to work hard, gave up 3, and at the end of 3.5 innings, Padres 3, Dodgers nothing. Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today. By K-Swiss and by Jack Daniels. 3-0 San Diego as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Shows you how delicate a line there is when you're a major league pitcher. In the first 3 innings, Chad Billingsley made a total of only 37 pitches. And then lost his rhythm, struggled, and in the 4th inning alone made 27 pitches. So all of a sudden, Chad's pitch count jumped up to 64, and Correa finds himself leading 3-0. Scott Pusednik. Right. Pusednik, with his speed, a threat to bunt, and Headley playing him in on the grass. 0-1. Sinking fastball, 1-1 to count. One and two. Joe Torre was talking about Scott Pusednik before the game, and he said Scott's a little over anxious right now, being with a new ball club and everything. But he has some hidden power. I like him a lot, said Joe. Just did get a little bit. 1-2. Pusednik, a little bit like Rafael Furcal. He is not the kind of hitter who gets in the box and just stays there. He moves around. He'll run up in the box. Try to take advantage of his speed. 1-2. Slap foul. I'll always remember a Dodger pitcher many years ago was traded to Pittsburgh, and we were on the road and eventually came to Pittsburgh, and we saw him. Bob Miller, his name was, and he had just joined the club. Little comebacker, and that'll do it for Scott. 1 away. Anyway, the guy said to Bob Miller, getting to know all the fellas. Miller said, heck, I don't even know all the handshakes. In those days, the Pirates had so many unbelievable handshakes. So it's tough for a newcomer. And a guy like Pusednik playing every day, Ted Lilly, of course, made a tremendous impression. his first game. And so did Blake DeWitt for the Cubs. He had 3 hits in his first game, and he hit a home run in his second game. James McDonald, the former Dodger, went to Pittsburgh, and he joined the club. He pitched a shutout. 0-1. Another strike. Ryan Theriot single to center, slightly right center, and that's the way they shade him. He is anything but a pull hitter. Slaps it. He lives up to his publicity. So Ryan Theriot goes the other way again and again. And that'll bring up Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier, you may remember last night, had 2 doubles, and then in the 8th inning with 2 on, unloaded that swing and hit his 17th home run of the year. He has 61 runs batted in. Andre came into the game and grounded into a double play his first at bat. Dodgers encouraged by the performance of last evening, and that's ball 1. And Ethier figures, perhaps on paper anyway, to do well again tonight. He came in hitting .533 against Correa. Ball 2. Couple of San Diego boys in the game, with Correa on the mound and Gonzalez over at first. 2-0. And ball 3. On deck, James Loney representing the tying run. And remember, Loney has 2 home runs in the past against Correa. So 3-0 to Andre. And ball 4. So the Dodgers now have Loney representing the possible tying run with 1 out. So Bud Black, who saw his ball club starving for runs, picked up 3. Now in a little bit of a jam. First and second, 1 out. Loney out on a fine running catch by Gwynn in center field back in the 2nd inning. Struggling, they all go up and down. So 2 on and 1 out. James hitting .290. And hit down the left field line, foul, back into the crowd. 0-1 to Loney. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Padres. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. The Dodgers facing a pitcher with an earned run average of 5, who leads his club in home runs allowed with 17. Kevin, big fella, 6'3", 210. 0-1. Little ground ball, foul ball. 0-2. Kevin, who throws pretty hard. Fastball, 2-seamer has been clocked anywhere from 90 to occasionally 95. But the pitch that means a lot to him against left-hand hitters is a changeup. It's not just a change. It has a tendency almost to act like a screwball. And when it's working properly, his changeup will kind of go down and away from the left-handed batter. 0-2. Slap foul. Still 0-2. Loney, intense concentration. even before the Dodgers came up in the bottom of the first inning. Loney was on the top step of the dugout, imagining that he was at the plate watching Correa warm up. And now here he is. 2 on, 1 out, 3-0 Padres. Time. Light breeze barely stirring the flags in center field. A zephyr. One and 2. Pitch in the dirt. They'll put a new one in play. Nice block by Torrealba. Kevin Correa, who does throw sinkers, but he has only 2 wild pitches. One ball and 2 strikes. Whack foul outside of first. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He hasn't thrown the changeup to him. Sliders and fastballs, 1 and 2 the count. Maybe in the past when Loney hit 2 home runs, he might have gotten 1 change. Just off the plate. 2 and 2. That was his fastball. Didn't sink. It stayed up. Matt Kemp waiting on deck. Padres 3, Dodgers nothing. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Cherio and Ethier out there on the lines. Fastball that sinks and away. So he goes 3 and 2. Loney this year, in looking at his numbers, has struck out only 64 times, but he has grounded into 10 double plays. So we'll see what that means as far as the runners going with 1 out. Cherio and Ethier. The runners go, and it's foul back. So Torrey has a hitter who does not strike out a lot, but does ground into a lot of double plays, so he runs the runners. See if he does it again. 1 away here in the 4th inning. We'll check him again. 3 and 2. There they go. And there's a high fly ball to right field. Back goes Ludwig on the track at the wall to make the catch. Tagging up at second is Theriot to go to third. Loney just missed getting all of it. Long out to right field. So that note we gave you at the very start of the game. Correa is a fly ball hitter. And now you have Matt Kemp coming up. For the Dodgers, they've had some long fly balls. And of course for Theriot, started, went back, and was still had time to tag up and go to third. So here's Kemp. He flied to center in the 2nd inning. 1st and 3rd, 2 out. And a fly ball, but this time Gwynn started back. Now he's there. So he's getting away with the fly balls, and the Dodgers no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of 4, 3-0 San Diego. is brought to you by Corona. Fifth inning with the Padres having scored 3 in the 4th inning. And Kevin Correa getting out of a scrape, especially that long fly ball to right field. For the Dodgers, they're hitting the ball in the air against him, but as we told you, that's his style. Jerry Hairston will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Hard ground ball smothered by Casey Blake. Up and at him. Casey may not be accustomed to turning a double play, but he sure is accustomed to taking base hits away playing third base. If you just joined us and you figure what in the heck is he talking about, Casey Blake turning a double play. Dodgers had their triangle defense, and Casey was on the second base side of the bag, let's put it that way. Got a throw from Carroll on a ground ball, and then suddenly found himself asked to make the turn, and that's asking a lot. So Casey got to the bag, then turned, throwing and hesitating, and then finally getting it off, and it was too late. Ground ball into left field, base hit. So Tejada is 2 for 3, and the only time they got him, he almost took Loney's hand off with a line drive. So Miguel 2 for 3. Here's Adrian Gonzalez. There goes Casey Blake to the other side of the bag, and he's talking to Jamie Carroll, and they're going to switch. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? So Casey Blake now is going to stay on the left side of second base, and Carroll moves over the other way. Feel more at home with a big grin on his face. Foul ball. 0-1 the count to Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian, one of the top hitters, one of the top players, hitting .288, 21 home runs, 68 runs batted in. But the Dodgers have stopped him so far. He is 1 for 13 in the series, and he has to be fit to be tied over how many possible hits he lost on the triangle. Pop fly, and it will be Terrio going out and making the play. Andre Ethier was there, but Terrio wanted it.
47, Ryan Ludwig.
And Ryan Ludwig coming up. So Tejada at first with 2 out, and Ludwig certainly capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Drilled one in the second inning, and Matt Kemp made a fine running catch. Popped up, and it's Terrio. Boy, that thing was up there a while. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 4.5 innings, Padres 3, Dodgers nothing. Blake, a long fly ball to right field for an out. Little roller. Casey 0 for 1, hitting .248. 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Fastball, and that was a good sinking fastball. Correa, who, as we've mentioned several times, is a fly ball hitter, but he does have a good sinker. Sometimes I guess it just doesn't sink. That'll give you an idea. That's a lot of fly balls, and we're only through 4. One and two the count. Dodgers have beaten them twice. With those long fly balls that Correa has given up, he's under 500 at Petco, which is considered certainly a pitcher's ballpark. There goes another one, but this is one away. Remember the trivia question? We let you think about it for a little while. Which ex-Dodger general manager was the first general manager in Padre history? Emil J. Buzzy Bavasi. He was the Padre GM through 1977. He was with the Dodgers in Brooklyn for 30 years, and he was also the president of the Angels. So he had a lot to do in baseball in Southern California. And oh, how he loved the game. Bavasi, who was in World War II and was awarded the Bronze Star. He was a machine gunner. And twice he came so close to death, you can't believe it. He was in the Italian campaign under General Mark Clark. One time he was sitting in a Jeep, and the fellow sitting alongside of him in the Jeep shot in the head and killed. And he had another one of those. So he took his wins and his losses. He had his ducks in a row when he got involved in baseball. Buzzy Bavasi. 2-1 the count to Jamie Carroll. 1 out, 5th inning, 3-0 Padres. That's a strike. Jamie didn't think so. 2-2. Carroll grounded to short in the 3rd inning. Jamie hitting .279. Ground ball this time to Hairston. So the slider gets the ground ball. The fastball has been getting the fly ball. And A.J. Ellis, who flied out, coming up. Correa is 7-7. Interesting. Stats sometimes just don't seem to make sense. He's 4-5 at home. That's where a fly ball pitcher ought to win. He's 3-2 on the road, where you figure he'd pay the penalty. Right. Of course, this is a good sized ballpark. 0-1 to A.J. One ball, one strike. Joe Torre said before the game, we have 2 catchers who can handle the pitching staff, and I'll play them by feel. At first, I'll probably go back and forth a little. So last night, Brad Ausmus started and certainly helped a great deal. Vicente Padilla pitch his gem. And we'll see whether it's Ausmus or Ellis tomorrow night against Washington. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw will go up against John Lannon. Then it'll be Hiroki Kuroda against Livan Hernandez, and they're talking things over right now. No language barrier between two pitchers. Ball 3. I always remember the first Japanese pitcher, Masanori Murakami, came over with the Giants, didn't speak a word of English, and the manager was Herman Franks. Little ground ball to Adrian, they'll get the out, and they taught him to say something whenever Herman came to the mound. What did they teach him? When the manager came out, he said, "Take a hike." Oh, we'll be right back. .75 home runs in his career, and the greatest home run I never saw he hit here at Dodger Stadium. He hit one over the bleachers, over the roof, and out of sight, 506 feet away. Jerry Doggett had the privilege of calling it. I was in the restroom. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, great, Scully. You missed the best. Chase Headley a strike, 0-1. Chase grounded out, single to center, 1 for 2. Padres lead the Dodgers 3-0. We're in the 6th inning. Oh, and 2 the count. Chad just had 6 pitches in the 5th inning, but 27 in the 4th inning when he gave up the 3 runs. Ground ball backhanded by Loney. He takes a double away from Headley. Here's how the Padres scored in the 4th inning. Tejada opened up the inning with a base hit, and then Gonzalez hit into a force play. After Ludwig walked, Headley singled. There was another base hit by Torrealba with first base open, and for good measure, Tony Gwynn's fly ball cashed in the run, and the Padres took the 3 to the bank, and they lead 3-0. Here's Torrealba. Line drive, base hit to left field. So he's ready to start another streak.
Heading next, left fielder, number 25, Will Venable.
So 1 away, Torrealba at first, Will Venable coming up. 3 runs and 7 hits for the Padres. Kevin Correa has pitched exceptionally well. He's allowed only 2 hits to Ryan Theriot. Venable, infield single and walk, stole a base. Hitting .233. Will's dad, Max, of course, had a long career in the big leagues. Will with 9 home runs. One ball and 1 strike. Will majored in anthropology at Princeton, and he was the team's 2-time MVP. He's got great genes. He always thought of himself as a basketball player. His mom, Molly, played college basketball at Dominican University. His dad, 12 years in the major leagues. So he figures to be quite an athlete, and he is. He's 6'3", 225. He'll be 28 in October. 1-2. And there goes the runner on a foul ball. So they were running Torrealba, hit and run. And Yorbit back to the bag. So Bud Black has a fleet-footed hitter in Will Venable, a veteran catcher, and he tries to avoid the double play, which has been a trademark for the Padres all year. They have grounded into 60 double plays. The Dodgers have grounded into 74. Little ground ball to the right side. They get one. The throw to first, not in time. So Venable is very tough to double up. He's only grounded into 1 double play, and the ball was really not hit hard enough to double him. So Terrio to Carroll, and then Jamie's throw not quite in time. So that keeps the inning alive. But remember the play that Loney made on the ball hit by Headley. That was followed by the single. So here's Tony Gwynn. Flied to left in the 3rd inning, and then flied to right deep enough to pick up an RBI in the 4th. With Venable over there at first base, having already burned the Dodgers, Will stole second in the 3rd inning. Always a threat to steal. He's stolen 19 out of 22. Ball 1. And of course, if you're Tony Gwynn, you're thinking to himself, well, they're worried about Venable stealing. They're going to try and hurry the ball to the catcher, so I figure to get some fastballs. 2 out. Venable had a pretty good lead. The interesting thought behind all of this, just a small part of the game, but if the Dodgers feel that Venable is going to steal, if they really feel it, they're not going to keep throwing over to first base. What they will do is call a pitch out. But the question is when. That's just part of the intrigue. He's not gone. Ball 2. Three runs, 7 hits for the Padres. There's Hoppy at 3rd. Rick Renteria coaching at first. 2-0 to Tony Gwynn. Venable still not gone on ball 3. Well, you have 2 out and the pitcher coming up. Gwynn has 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. And the strike. Tony Gwynn playing in a ballpark with a big statue of your dad outside. Now we'll watch. Venable is gone. Foul ball. So Will comes back 3-2 with 2 down, so you know he'll be going this time. Tony Gwynn, a 6-footer, about 190, born in Long Beach, went to San Diego State, and of course his dad coaches there. And they tell me in high school Anthony was a great basketball player. 3-2. There goes Venable on ball 4. You might say, well, it's good that they just avoid Gwynn and they have the pitcher, etc. But all managers like to get the number 8 hitter for the last out. Ideally, then they have the pitcher starting off the next inning, and it didn't work. 85 pitches now for Chad. Correa grounded out, struck out, 0-1 the count. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 6th inning, Billingsley will start it off. Then Posednik and Terrio. So Venable and Gwynn out there with 2 out. Boy, you really would have a track meet with those two if you didn't have the pitcher at the plate. Venable has stolen 19 bases. Gwynn has stolen 16. So that's 35 stolen bases out there. The only thing to shut him down is the pitcher at the plate with 2 out. 1-1. And pop foul out of play. 1-2. This the 12th meeting between these two clubs. Dodgers have won 7 of 11. Dodgers won the season series with the Padres in 08, 09, trying to do it again in 10. Last time Bud Black's club beat the Dodgers, 07. 1-2 the count. And fouled away. Good fastball at 91. Seemed to have a little jump on it at the end, and Correa was still able to get a little. Johnson, who's been out with a bad back, activated yesterday and took some BP today. And you know who the pitcher was? Ronald Belisario. So it looks like Johnson is on deck, perhaps to hit for Billingsley. Strike 3 meanwhile on Correa. No runs a hit, couple left, and at the end at 5.5, 3-0 Padres. Baseball player, but on an umpire. Watch this call. Line drive, throw to second. You think that's close? Well, Ted Barrett's in perfect position. Look at the foot, maybe 6 inches from the bag on the double play. Ted, just one of many interesting people. For instance, he has a master's degree in biblical studies at Trinity University, and he's pursuing a doctorate in theology. Ted, a solid call. 14 years in the big leagues. So many times we have to use high-tech equipment to see just how close these plays can be. Meanwhile, for Chad Billingsley, he will call it a night. It's interesting that he goes out losing 3-0 in his 2 victories against the Padres. He won 1-0 and 2-0, a total of 3 runs. So Reed Johnson hitting .291 and ball 1. Kenley Jansen, the kid from Curacao, begins to loosen up in the Dodger bullpen. Reed Johnson hitting .291, swings a bigger bat than that against left-hand pitching. He's hitting .373 against left-handers. Hard ground ball. Whoa! Headley stays with it, throws in the dirt, and Gonzo makes a play. Wow, was that thing hit. Can't hit it much harder than that. I thought it was the buckle coming off his belt when he bent down to pick up the ball. Wow. Boy, whoever first called it the hot corner was right on the money. And that had to hurt. So Headley makes a wonderful play. Johnson losing a base hit. And the batter will be Scott Posednik. Posednik grounded out, struck out 0 for 2. Padres shorten up, looking bunt. Ball 1. Joe Thatcher, the left-hander, gets up in the San Diego bullpen. That's a strike, 1-1. For Kevin Correa, his longest stint, 7 innings against Houston. Otherwise, basically 5 and 6 innings. 2-1. And a line drive just under Tejada's glove and through for the base hit. So Miguel went down and was reaching for an echo. And the batter will be Ryan Theriot. There's the glove, and there goes the ball. So 2 very hard hit balls, 1 out. Ryan Theriot has done what he does so well. 2 base hits the other way. Theriot has 114 hits. This time going the other way, but he pays the price. Fly ball to right. So Ryan 2 for 3, and Andre Ethier coming up. Dodgers had one good look at the game so far. That was in the 4th inning. With 1 out, Theriot single to right, Ethier walked, and that brought up Loney. James had a 9-pitch at bat, fouled off 5, and fly deep to right. Ludwig caught it right at the scoreboard, and then Kemp followed with a fly ball to center, and that's it. So here's Ethier now, hit into a double play and walk. Line drive, and that's off the glove of Adrian Gonzalez. On his way to third is Posednik. And so for the 2nd time tonight, the Dodgers have first and third. Loney coming up, and remember, Joe Thatcher was getting ready in the bullpen for perhaps just this moment. So Ethier drives that just off the glove. Gonzalez goes up to get it, ticked it, and it went on by. Well, it's not Bud Black going out to the mound. It is indeed, and that'll mean, so as soon as he got Joe Thatcher up in the pen, you knew he was looking ahead to the Dodger lineup. And once he saw that Loney could be coming up in a jam, he got the left-hander ready. So as you await Joe, we'll be back. To the game, and the key to his particular game, as we mentioned, he is a fly ball pitcher par excellence. 8 fly balls, 9 ground balls, and no strikeouts. When was the last time you saw a starting pitcher go into the 6th inning without a strikeout? He can't lose. He comes out leading 3-0, 2 men his responsibility, and Joe Thatcher will be pitching to James Loney. So Black, who was burned once in San Diego when he didn't bring in Thatcher, now brings him all the time at the right moment. And a drive down the left field line, foul. So Loney coming back to the plate. Joe Torre with his second look at the game tonight. And the last time Loney almost tied it up on that long fly ball caught by Ludwig at the wall in right field. So Chad, after 90 pitches, can only sit and wait and hope. James hitting .289. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Made a lot of sense, of course, to bring Thatcher in to face Loney. James hitting .316 against right-handers, only .229 against left. That's a strike, 1-2. Kevin Correa made 77 pitches, and Big Joe out of Indianapolis. 1-2. Big roundhouse curveball. Fly ball. Tony Gwynn is there. That'll do it. So Thatcher comes in and gets his man. The Dodgers leave 2. And remember, the play by Headley to start the inning changed everything. And it's still 3-0 Padres. It's top of the 7th. You know, for a limited time, you can experience the Baseline Box Club with a 4-game plan that offers big savings, preferred parking, club access, and if you act now, an invitation to the Dodgers premium seating batting practice party. For details, be sure to visit Dodgers.com/baseline or call 323-224-1320. Kenley Jansen, the big kid out of Curaçao in the Netherlands Antilles. 22 years old. He'll be 23 in September. He is the amazing youngster who was a catcher. He was converted to a pitcher in July of 2009. And it is still hard to believe he's pitching in the big leagues 1 year later. You know how we tell you how efficient Hung-Chi Kuo is, especially against left-hand hitters? Well, you certainly have to take your hat off to Joe Thatcher. When Loney was batting against Joe Thatcher with 2 on and 2 out in the 6th inning, left-handers are hitting 128 against Thatcher. In there. Jerry Hairston led off the game with a double. Then the line drive caught by Loney turned into a double play by getting him. Then he was called out on strikes and grounded to third, hitting .246. Wow. That was 93. And coming from a guy his size, you expect everything to come up in a hurry. He has that fastball that's been clocked as high as 98. Then he has a slider, a curveball, and a changeup, and all of that in 1 year. The big question for the Dodgers with him, can he throw strikes? A little cracked bat, tough play for Blake. There again, throw, too late. So Hairston cracks his bat, gets himself an infield single, and the batter will be Miguel Tejada. Blake did everything he could, but no chance. Hit number 8 for San Diego. So with Hairston at first and his hands stinging, I think, from cracking the bat, but he'll take it. Tejada has hit the ball hard all 3 times. Lined out to Loney, single to center, and single to left. Hitting .231. Ball 1. Miguel checks with Glenn Hoffman. Remember, way back in the 1st inning, after Hairston doubled, Tejada actually tried to bunt. Laid one down pretty good, but it rolled off foul. Jerry Hairston has stolen 8. His brother Scott has stolen 6 out of 7. Jerry is 8 for 13. Ball 2, 2-0. Padres scored all 3 runs in the 4th inning. In there. Kenley Jansen, born in 1987. Tejada was playing in professional ball in 1995, so Kenley was 8. 2-1. 2-2. Fastball clocked at 96. Ball 3. So Kenley Jansen gave up the cracked bat bloop single up along third. And now it goes 3-2 to Tejada with Adrian Gonzalez on deck. There goes the runner, and a high fly ball, but playable. Posednik is there. Well, Hairston holding at first with 1 out, and Adrian Gonzalez coming up.
Number 23, Adrian Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is 0 for 3, which makes him 1 for 14 in the series. Despite the fact Gonzalez has been unable to add to the offense, he always brings a good glove with him, and the Padres trying to win a very big game for them. I mean, if the Padres win this game, let's face it, they split the series, no harm done. Bud Black leaves town, goes to Arizona. They've beaten Arizona 7 out of 9. And more importantly, 4 more days off the calendar. Also, Padres have a chance to breathe a little easier because the Giants lost today. Triangle is out there again on the right side. Strike. Adrian has not had any problem with the triangle tonight. Once last night, and 4 times he lost base hits, hitting the ball to Ryan Theriot, fouled away. Theriot, however, with a runner at first base, is not playing Gonzalez where he normally does. And as we mentioned earlier, the Dodgers were caught in a switch. They had Carroll at short and Casey Blake as the extra second baseman. And Casey was called upon to turn a double play, and that was asking an awful lot. And they couldn't make the double play. So the next time, Carroll went to second base, and Blake took over at short, but it could be the horse has left the barn. And down goes Gonzalez. Boy, what a series this has been for the likable first baseman of the San Diego Padres. He basically is their leader, and he is 1 for 15 at bats in the series. So with 2 down, Ryan Ludwig coming up. Ludwig flied to center hard, walked and scored a run, and popped up. Ryan hitting .280. We're in the 7th, 3-0 San Diego. Ball 1. Ludwig, 32 years old. .6'3", 210. Over at first base, Jerry Hairston. And kind of a slow turn, almost had Hairston taking a big lead. One and one. Ludwig, they tell me, besides baseball, loves fast racing cars besides basketball. In fact, He had a great view for the 2005 Daytona 500. He was in NASCAR driver Kurt Busch's pit area for the race. They're close pals, attended high school together. 1-1. One ball and one strike. 2 out, 7th inning, 3-0 Padres. Jansen really keeping an eye on Jerry Hairston. Foul back, 1-2. Ryan Ludwig has a very good collection of baseball cards. He started collecting when he was growing up. He said the best present he ever got was a set of baseball cards. Now I'm sure has one of his own. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And lifted into shallow right center. A trio pot. It will be Terrio. So no runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of 6.5 innings, 3-0 San Diego. Dodgers will have Kemp, Blake, and Carroll after God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America, performed by the lead singer and frontman for the New York-based band Studebaker Brown, whose tour promoting their newest album, Strangers Will Become, begins later this month. Please welcome Pete Marotta.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Now, fans, it's time for the California Lottery 7th inning stretch.
board. It's been Correa, then Thatcher, and now Ernesto Frieri, the hard-throwing right-hander out of Colombia. How hard-throwing is he? Well, his numbers, he does not have an earned run. He's been in 8 games. He has walked 2 and struck out 14. In 7 1/3 innings, he's allowed 1 hit. And a little pop fly could be trouble. It's going to drop. A modest thing and thine own. And for Matt Kemp, he'll take it. Little flare into center for a base hit. So that'll bring up Casey Blake. Fly deep to right, fly to right. Kemp at first base. Down in the Dodger bullpen, George Sherrill begins to loosen up. Fastball, ball 1. Ernesto Frieri. He's 25 years old, 6'2", 190. Signed by the Padres as a free agent 7 years ago. And finally came up very briefly last year. Fastball pulled foul. 1-1. His fastball anywhere from 88 to 94. Very, very good slider. He has a curveball and a changeup. One and one. Whoa. 1-2. That was 94. Earlier in his career, he had some problems because he was throwing so many breaking balls. He was beginning to develop blisters. But apparently he has toughened up. 1-2. Now back. Frieri came up briefly for just 2 games with the Padres last year. He spent a good portion of the time in San Antonio. And then this year, he spent the early going at Portland. And when in Portland, his earned run average was 1.4. So they called him up. One and 2 to Casey Blake, who is 0 for 2. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Twice tonight, the Dodgers had the tying run at the plate. First and third, 1 out in the 4th, and Loney backed Ludwig to the scoreboard for his out. They had first and third with 2 out in the 6th, and Loney flied to center. And that's a hard base hit up the middle. Kemp to second and holding. So the Dodgers now have Jamie Carroll, the tying run with nobody out, and first and second. So Frieri gives up 2 hits, with Carroll followed by A.J. Ellis, and then the pitcher spot. Dodgers used Reed Johnson earlier. We're in the 7th, 2 on, nobody out. Jamie grounded to short, grounded to second. Has put up big numbers against the Padres, hitting better than 360 against them. Outfield really split. Wow, what a gap between Tony Gwynn and Will Venable. Look at there. So they figured that the best that Jamie will do against a hard throwing right-hander is hit the ball the other way. Slider away. 1-1. Down in the bullpen behind Frieri is right-hander Luke Gregerson. Three nothing San Diego. 1-2. There's the slider again. So what they're telling you, I guess, is not just they don't think Carroll will get a fastball to pull. They're going to go with sliders away. So that if he does hit it, that would be the direction, anywhere from right center to right. 1-2. And fastball away, and that thing was moving. So down goes Carroll, 1 out. Boy, that thing hurried up there, and look at it run away. So 1 down, and you have A.J. Ellis flied to right, grounded to first, 0 for 2. Garrett Anderson is coming out of the dugout, and he'll be the pinch hitter. A.J. hitting 196. Fastball strike. So Kemp a pop fly single. Casey Blake a ground ball single. 2 on, 1 out. 3-0 Padres. Bottom of the 7th. Fastball 1-1. That fastball 95. As we said, clocked anywhere that high. One and 1. Amazing that Frieri, in 10 career outings, had 16 strikeouts and no runs. Little ground ball to the right side. They're going to get 1. They will easily get 2. So A.J. Ellis rolls into the DP. Frieri walks off, and at the end of 7, Padres 3, Dodgers nothing. Had a good look at the game. 4th inning, 2 on. Loney, the tying run sends right fielder Ludwig to the wall. In the next inning, a fly ball to center by Loney and Kemp, of course. And then finally in the 6th inning, Loney hits a pop fly to Gwynn. And just to rub it in the 7th inning with 1 out, and Carroll bit the dust. Then A.J. Ellis grounds into the double play. So the Dodgers have had their chances, and the Padres have pushed them away, and that's been a Hyundai key to the game. So 3 runs, 8 hits for the Padres. no runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. George Sherrill will be pitching to Jace Headley, and when you turn Headley around, he is a completely different hitter. So George comes in to face him. Headley is grounded out, singled, and robbed of a double by Loney. All of those batting left-handed. Right. Headley hitting just 190 right-handed. He made a big play in the 6th inning. It's probably lost in the coverage of the game. But back in the 6th inning, Reed Johnson was a pinch hitter, and he almost cut Headley in half with a hopper to third. Chase stayed with it to throw him out. Then Posednik singled, and after Terrio flied out, Ethier singled. But now Reed is back in the dugout talking to Bob Schaefer. Meanwhile, Headley rolls out, 1 away.
Catcher number 8, Yorvi Torrealba.
Yorvi Torrealba grounded out, and then in the 4th inning, with first base open, they challenged him with the left-hand hitting Venable on deck, and as he has done all year, Torrealba welcomed the challenge and singled in a run. He's out of sight with men in scoring position and hitting .332. He's 2 for 3, 2 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Sherrill is due to lead off the 8th inning, so they're getting ready for a pinch hitter, and then Octavio Dotel will come in. One and one to Yorvit. On deck, the left-hand hitting Will Venable. Popped up. Terrio. Two down in the 8th inning. Venable singled and stole a base. Walk. Hit into a force play. Ball 1. Venable hitting .232, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in, and 19 out of 22 in stolen bases. 1-1. Two and one. On deck, Tony Gwynn. Slap foul. So in the bottom of the 8th inning, a hitter for Sherrill, then Posednik and Terrio, and if anybody gets on, Andre Ethier. Two and two. Good breaking ball. So a 1-2-3 inning for George, and we're heading to the bottom of the 8th. 3-0 San Diego. Bottom of the 8th inning with the Padres leading 3-0. It's been that way since they scored all 3 in the 4th inning at the expense of Chad Billingsley. So the Dodgers now trying to come from behind ever since. Ever so close the last couple of times, but always turned away. And now Luke Gregerson becomes the 4th San Diego pitcher. Correa, Thatcher, Fieri, and Luke. Garrett Anderson a strike. Anderson, coming off the bench, has a dozen hits and hits one down the line, hooking foul, well back in the crowd. The paid attendance tonight, 44,739. 44,739. And then the Washington Nationals, Clayton Kershaw against John Lennon tomorrow night. Ground ball to the right side, plugged up nicely by Hairston. One away. Be sure to visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. But get your gear from the official source, the Dodgers.com shop. Except no substitute. One away. Here's Posednik. A little roller to short. Tejada gets him. And so Gregerson, with quick dispatch, takes care of 2 hitters. And the batter will be Ryan Theriot.
Second baseman, number 13, Ryan Theriot.
Theriot single to center, single to right center, and fly to right. 2 for 3, hitting .279. Luke Gregerson at a Park Ridge, Illinois, out there on the mound. Luke has been a tower of strength for the Padre bullpen. That's a strike. Luke with an ERA of 2.4, 9 walks, 66 strikeouts. 1-1. Went to school at St. Xavier University in Illinois. Signed with the Cardinals back in '06. And the Padres got Luke from the Cardinals in the deal that sent Khalil Green to St. Louis. Basically fastball slider. 1-1. Sinking fastball, ball 2. Last year, Gregerson appeared in 72 games and had an ERA of 2.3. Opposition so far this year hitting 140 against him. 140. Three and 1 the count. Ryan Theriot with Ethier on deck. Shot up the middle. So Theriot comes up with his 3rd hit. He's 3 for 4. He had a double his last at bat last night in the 8th inning. So he keeps the door open for Ethier. Andre Ethier grounded into a double play, walk, and single to right. On deck, James Loney, 2 out. Foul ball, 0-1. Andre hitting .297, 17 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Padres will head for Arizona. They have beaten the Diamondbacks 7 of 9, winning all 6 in San Diego and losing 2 out of 3 in Arizona. Dodgers will host the Washington Nationals. Oh, and 2. There are still 6 games left with San Diego, and they're all in September. 6, 7, and 8 in San Diego. 21, 22, and 23 here. The Dodgers also have 6 left with San Francisco. 3 here and 3 there. 0 and 2. And a line drive base hit. Theriot takes one look and keeps on going. And for about the 5th time tonight, the Dodgers have another look at the game. 2 on and a good hitter, James Loney, coming up. So the Dodgers against Fieri and Gregerson have 4 hits and nothing to show for it. And here comes Bud, and it looks like a double switch. He has his closer, Heath Bell, in the bullpen, and he'll talk to Brian Gorman. Chris DeNorfia is going to go into left field. So since Venable made the last out in the 8th inning, whoever's coming out of the bullpen will go into Venable's spot, and that means DeNorfia will bat second in the 9th inning. And here comes Heath Bell, and we'll be back. For the Dodgers, and James Loney, just 1 for 9 in his career, will be facing Heath Bell. The Dodgers had first and third, 1 out in the 4th, and failed to score. They had first and third with 2 out in the 6th and failed to score. They had first and second with nobody out in the 7th and came up empty. And here in the 8th inning, they have runners at first and third with 2 out. You have Ryan Theriot, who's had 3 hits tonight over at third base. Andre Ethier is at first. And here comes James Loney, who almost tied up the game in the 4th inning. With 2 on and 1 out, he sent Ryan Ludwig to the scoreboard in right field. James is 0 for 3 against Heath Bell. Bell is 5-0. He has an earned run average of 1.9. Strikeout to walk ratio is a little bit better than 3-1. Heath is a big boy, 6'3", maybe 250. Born in Oceanside, lives in Tustin. Originally drafted by the Mets. And ball one. James hitting .289, 8 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Terrio at third, Ethier at first. 2 out. 1-1 to James. Heath Bell didn't even make his high school varsity baseball team until his senior year. He had no college scholarships office. His college coach told him he had no future in pro ball. And he signed a bonus of, are you ready, $500. 2-1. Bell, signed by the Mets, came up to the Mets 6 years ago and eventually moved over to San Diego in 07. 2-1. Little ground ball to Gonzalez, and that'll do it. So the 8th inning, once again, the Dodgers have a first and third situation, and they can't cancel it in. And at the end of 8, 3-0 Padres. And Joe Torre makes an interesting move in the 9th inning. First of all, he went out, read his lips, see him first base, and he's talking to Andre Ethier. And Andre reacts to the question, yeah, I can do it. Sure, it's a cinch. Give me a glove. So Andre Ethier will take over at first base. Garrett Anderson will be in right field. And Octavio Dotel will go into James Loney's spot. Of course, left-handers look so good at first base anyway. But it's a tough position. Not just the ground balls and the line drives and the high twisting foul balls, but digging balls out of the dirt, learning to shift your feet depending upon the location of the throw. So Ryan Terrio coming over to talk to him for a moment. And here we go, and wouldn't you know, for Andre Ethier, the first guy up is a left-hand hitter. Octavio Dotel out of the Dominican Republic, signed by the Mets in 1993. 0-1. Dotel will be 35 the end of November, from Santo Domingo. Started playing pro ball that year, 1993. Came up to the Mets in 99. Then went to the Astros for 5 years, then to the A's for 2, then 1 year with the Yankees, then the Royals, the Braves, 2 years with the White Sox, the Pirates, and the Dodgers. 2-1 the count to Gwynn. Flied to left, had a sacrifice fly to right, and walked. Tony hitting .214. And ball 3. Dotel has been in 1 game as a Dodger. Pitched 1 inning. And he walked Gwynn. So now Ethier will learn how to hold a runner on and handle pickoff throws. It's still 3-0 in favor of the Padres in the 9th inning. Here is Chris Denorfia. Remember, in that double switch, he took Venable's spot when the pitcher was coming in to take over left field. Gwynn, a very good base stealer. Ball 1 as Denorfia showed bunt. Tony has stolen 16 out of 20. Denorfia has 1 sacrifice. 1-0. Ball 2. In fact, that's a strike. Just did move the bat. They did a little quick research on Andre Ethier. First career big league appearance at first base. Never played first base in the minor leagues. So Dotel trying to prevent the bunt, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. When he was very small, talking before he was 8 years old, he loved basketball. Then he got involved with volleyball until he was 13. Runner going, hit and run, chopper over the glove of Blake and down the line. Going to third is Gwynn, and when the ball gets away from Posednik, Gwynn will score. And here comes Denorfia. The throw, he's in there. And the Dodgers watch 2 runs come in as Denorfia bounces one over Casey Blake, and it is 5-0 San Diego. From our angle, we couldn't see what happened to Scott Posednik. We'll see it on camera now. There's the bouncer down the line. Posednik is coming over, and it gets by him. Gwynn would have scored anyway, I believe. So 5-0 in favor of the Padres. Jerry Hairston, the batter, and Denorfia all smiles. A big chopper and winds up coming home. Denorfia had not done too much in this series. He was just 1 for 11. That's fouled away. We're waiting on the official scorer. They have not put an error up. If they don't put an error up, you're thinking home run inside the park. And that's what it's going to be. It's ruled a home run inside the park for Chris Denorfia. So the ball just hugged the wall. Posednik couldn't come up with it, and somewhat of a rare thing. Here's the ball going down the line. Here comes Posednik to lunge at it, and it got by him. No error. Inside the park home run. 2 quick runs in the 9th inning. And that really opens it up 5-0. The last inside the park home run at Dodger Stadium was back in 2007 when the Dodgers were playing the Angels, and Gary Matthews Jr. had the inside the park home run. High fly ball into shallow left center. Matt Kemp is coming. So 1 out, and Miguel Tejada coming up.
Miguel Tejada.
So Octavio Dotel gives up a walk, and inside the park home run. Now gets an out, and Tejada lined into a double play, 2 singles and fly to left. Strike. So D'Onofrio all grins, as well he should be. Kind of rare. 0-1. 0-2. Five runs, 9 hits for the Padres. No runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers, who certainly have had many chances to get into the game. Fouled away. When the Dodgers come up in the 9th inning, they'll have Matt Kemp, Casey Blake, Jamie Carroll. We told you the last inside the park home run here, Gary Matthews Jr. 3 years ago when he was playing for the Angels. That's a high fly ball to right center. Matt Kemp takes one look to see and picks that off. 2 down. The last Dodger inside the park home run was hit in 2008 by Blake DeWitt. He did it here against the Mets. So in 07, Gary Matthews Jr., 08, Blake DeWitt, and 2010, Chris D'Onofrio. And here is Adrian Gonzalez, 0 for 4. Adrian is 1 for 15 in the series, a single left. One ball and 1 strike. Dodgers put up that triangle defense that has cost Adrian about 4 hits. 1-1. And a fly ball to shallow right. Anderson is there. So that's the inning, but what an inning. A walk followed by a home run inside the park by Chris D'Onofrio, and it's 5-0 San Diego. Chase Headley is not going to get any headlines. But still, he made a couple of big plays. First of all, with the bat in the fourth inning, breaking ball. He hit it up the middle for a base hit and then scored Ryan Ludwig. Then he made a terrific play on a ball crushed by Reed Johnson, and the Dodgers followed with 2 hits. So the bat for one, the glove for another, and Headley has been leading the way. 5-0 San Diego. Heath Bell, who made just 4 pitches to take care of James Loney, now going to work in the 9th inning against Matt Kemp. For the Padres, now that Denorfia has an inside the park home run, they have had 3, 2 by Tony Gwynn. That's right. Tony has 2 inside the park home runs. Matt Kemp 1 for 3. 0-2. You have a home run hitter at the plate, Matt Kemp. He has hit 18. Heath Bell has allowed 1 home run. 1. 1-2 the count. So for Heath Bell, he takes short work of Matt Kemp. 1 away in the 9th inning. And the batter, Casey Blake. Didn't fool around, nothing fancy, just a good fastball. 1 out. For Bell, 18 walks, 59 strikeouts. Casey, fly deep to right, fly to right, single to center, ball 1. You know, talking about inside the park home runs, the last Padre to hit an inside the park home run here before Chris Denorfia, Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn Sr. Not only did he hit an inside the park home run here in 1997, but Tony's dad hit a grand slam inside the park home run. That must have looked like a merry-go-round going off its moorings. Everybody running. 2-1 to count. Strike. 2-2. Two and 2. Fouled off. Heath Bell, among other things, collects a few bats from hitters around the league. They asked him, what do you have in your office? He said, you mean in my garage? He's a big man and lost nearly 30 pounds on a Weight Watchers diet, and then lost 20 more rollerblading in spring training. Father of 4, Heath Bell. Check swing, no swing, ball 4. So a rare walk given up by Bell, and the batter Jamie Carroll. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Padres, no runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. Giants lost, so the Padres have a chance to get back in front by 2 and push the Dodgers back to 8. Right. Bell thrown in the 90s. Every time when Bell was growing up, he would say, I want to pitch in the big leagues. Everybody else would say, what do you really want to do? He's doing what he really wants to do, pitch in the big leagues. One ball, one strike. Ball two. Heath Bell, Polish descent. His dad, a United States Marine. His wife, Nicole, is Chinese. He had every time I read this, I laugh. He had a pet rat named Daisy, and he would walk around in spring training with the rat on his shoulder. Strike. 2-2. That must have been a nice scene. You're 6'3", you're 250, and you're walking around with a rat named Daisy. Oh, sure. I'd like you to meet my rat. 2-2. Fouled off. Well, let's see. Carlos Beltran had a monkey. He used to bring the monkey to spring training. Heath Bell said about himself, he said, "My father once told me you're as old as you feel. Stay young." He said, "I'm a responsible 10-year-old. 2-2. Shot up the middle, base hit. Not quite as big a moment as the Dodgers have had all evening long. All evening long with 2 on, the hitter would be the possible tying run. But they have a long way to go here as Ronnie Belliard comes up to hit for Ellis. Ronnie Belliard hitting .220. Doubled high off the left center field wall last night. As a pinch hitter, he has a half a dozen hits. Ball 1. On deck, the pinch hitter who stayed in the game, Garrett Anderson. So Belliard technically the 3rd pinch hitter. Right. Reed Johnson almost cut Chase Headley in half with his hard ground ball for an out in the 6th inning. 1-1 to Belliard. Belliard 0 for 1 against Bell, and that's a strike. 1-2. Fastball. Still 1-2 to Ronnie Belliard. Two on. Blake at second. Carroll at first. 1 out. 5-0 Padres. 9th inning. Heath Bell with 30 saves, trying to add another. And that's on the corner, and that will do it for Belliard. So Keith Bell now has 2 out. Garrett Anderson came off the bench, grounded out, and then stayed in the game in right field. Scott Posednik on deck. Five runs, 9 hits for the Padres. No runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers. And a strike. Garrett batting .183, 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Fastball, little roller to Hairston. So the Padres win a very big game. 4 days go by on the calendar. As far as they're concerned, it was a good workout for the Dodgers. So close to winning 3 out of 4 and revitalizing themselves. But the truth is, they just ran in place. They now trail 8 again. The Giants losing, trailed by 2, and the Rockies, having lost, trailed by 7.5. So a big night for the Padres, who are on their way to Arizona. They have beaten Arizona 7 out of 9. For the Dodgers, they await the Washington Nationals, John Lennon and Clayton Kershaw tomorrow night. A reminder, stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.